All right. What's up? Wait, my face is a little dirty if you catch my drift. Now I could do the topical meme and just like can't see my face now. Oh, it's still there. Okay. Oh, luckily, I found a Maroon 5 t-shirt. This'll do. You ever seen like a bib? Oh god, I thought I was done for some reason. I think I'm gonna go finish in the bathroom. Before I address any movie bullshit, the thing the video is about, I would like to mention, yes, the quality on this video is probably not fantastic. See, my shitty camera, this Korean piece of shit, uses a battery that you remove and recharge, like most cameras. And this son of a bitch, this battery, decided to burn up inside of this when it wasn't even being used. Not really sure how that happens, but that's okay. I didn't need a camera anyway, And I apologize. I know it looks like shit. I know this might even sound like shit, even with my slightly expensive microphone. But that doesn't matter. I need to rant. I need to ramble. And this it's funny because the show is called Ramble Reviews. Rambling Reviews, Rambunctious Reviews. I haven't thought of the name yet. And what I want to ramble and review today is a movie called The Last Dude, it's like 4 a.m. I can't fucking speak. The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. The guy who made The Visit and Glass. And some good movies. Yeah, that guy. The guy with the twist endings. Decided to go to Nickelodeon Productions and say, yeah, I want to make a real movie. And so he did. A movie based on my favorite show fucking ever. A show called The Last Airbender, which, if you haven't seen it, it's finally on Netflix. Fucking watch it. Why should you watch it? Because it's got some of the best writing, action scenes, hilarious epic moments. Bruh moments. It's fucking June of 2020 and I'm still saying bruh. I want to talk about this movie in a not super professional fashion. I watched it like 2 days ago for like the third time in my life. Don't ask me why. And I know a lot of people have heard a lot of really bad shit about this movie, and there probably isn't even that much left to say. But I'm going to say it anyway. The movie for The Last Airbender, the one that I'm talking about, is also on Netflix, but please don't watch it. I really don't want that for you. It's fucking bad. It's bad. First things first. Let's just get this out of the way. They pronounced the names wrong. I know everyone has mentioned this, but how do you get the fucking names wrong? His name is said 30,000 times and you continue to call him Soka. There's literally a gag in season 1 of the show where this guy mispronounces names and he calls Sokka Soka.
Let me tell you, Soka, I've courted a lot of girls, but UA is the finest.
And M. Night saw that and was like, why isn't his name just Soka? That's a better name. What the fuck? And then he did it. He pretty much mispronounces everyone who isn't Zuko or Katara. Iroh is Ero. Aang is Ong. What the fuck? 2 A's next to each other in a name makes the A sound. Am I the only one who took English class? And to top it all off, they don't say Avatar. They say Avatar.
Are you the Avatar, Ong?
Oh, I can't fucking handle it. I'm not memeing. All of this is true. All of it. Okay, so aside from the obvious, like that, I just rewatched the first season of the show with a friend of mine, and I really want to fucking talk about the things that they do weirdly, because it's like, I just don't get it. First of all, the first season has 20 episodes in it. I'd say about 15 of those episodes are pretty important, or at least have 1 or 2 important things. So when you're adapting that much material, It's probably going to be a long movie. You know, people will understand. Got to do what you got to do. However, it's not that long of a fucking movie. The credits roll at an hour and 35 minutes, just past the amount of time it takes to make a feature-length film. Oh, and then the credits are 10 more minutes, by the way. However, it took 10 minutes worth of credits, worth of people to make this pile of shit I'll never understand. If the movie was 2 hours or 2.5 hours long, most of the issues could have been fixed from a storytelling perspective. There would still be way too much wrong for it to be a decent movie. But I just don't understand making it that short. It's like my brain immediately sets off a red alarm and I'm like, how the fuck? How the fuck did you make it? How did you make it an hour and a half? Bruh, don't get me wrong. They hit the major plot points most of the time, but they never do it well. The pilot episode, I would assume, is something that most people around 18 to, 26, 28 saw at least once on reruns on Nickelodeon. I know that's a big age gap, but I watched Nickelodeon until I was 15. And the reason it was reran so often is because it's a great episode. It's got 2 parts to it. A lot of impactful shit happens, and it establishes the characters in the show and the world that it takes place in pretty well. You don't get any massive details or anything, but it's enough. And even though you just met these characters and some of it is a bit silly, it gets you in. However, this movie goes from them walking on the ice to seeing this giant ball of light, Katara hitting it with a fucking bat. Look at her fly. Oh my god, she fucking flew. The ball cracking open, them finding Ong and Appa, who looks like shit, by the way, inside of the ball. And then it just kind of cuts to the village and they still don't even know each other's name. And it doesn't really make any sense. Because directly after this happens, Katara has a moment where she's like, oh, I fucking care about this dude. He's our responsibility. You don't even know his fucking name, lady.
We found that boy. He's our responsibility. We should fight.
Not to mention, there's a lot of weird cuts in this movie that just don't make sense. It's like the fucking editor had Parkinson's and was cutting it the old-fashioned way.
You're not still upset?
Not as much as I was.
And it's like, I've never seen a movie with such consistently terrible acting.
Something wrong?
No. Please wait here.
Oh, it's so bad. It's the worst. It's fucking awful.
Leave him alone. You're not taking him anywhere.
No one is taking anybody away.
Especially Katara. Oh my god. That girl cannot act. I'm sorry.
Why did you run away?
The day they told me I was the Avatar. They said I could never have a normal life. That I could never have a family.
It's like, it actually makes me laugh more than the jokes in the movie, which there are honestly not enough of. There's a lot of weirdly serious shit or jokes that exist.
That child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt.
The show is lighthearted. It has dark undertones to it, and it has serious moments that manage to have impact. But overall, it's not a fucking drama. It's a fantasy adventure. That's supposed to be lighthearted. It's not Game of fucking Thrones. The fuck was I talking about? But aside from the actors acting, it's the script is just fucking atrocious. So I'm gonna talk for a second about very good moments in the show that just lose all fucking impact in the movie. Also, if the chair is squeaking, I'm gonna be fucking mad. I think it's fine. Zuko's a really prideful character, right? You know, he's very stubborn. secretly insecure, but he's not exactly open about himself. You know, his uncle's pretty much the only one who knows a lick about him in the first season. His crew doesn't even like him. They think he's a big asshole, which is why they have a moment in the show where Iro tells the crew about Zuko's past so they can have a better understanding of why Zuko is such a little shit. And, you know, the way that it's told, you know, he has this scar because his dad challenged him to a duel for speaking out at a meeting, and he fucking burned his face off and exiled him like a savage. Fire Lord Ozai! And since it's not Zuko telling the story, it's very clearly like something he doesn't want to talk about. And his crew doesn't know, which means a lot of people outside of the Fire Nation don't know the exact circumstances and therefore are quick to judge Zuko when really their father's an asshole. His father's an asshole. I don't think Zuko is non-binary. In the movie, Zuko and Iroh are sitting at this place, which is not fucking... I don't care. They're sitting at this place, and Zuko's like, hey, little boy. He's like, you look like a smart little boy or something.
Hey, little one, come here. You look like a very smart boy.
He's like, do you know about the Fire Lord's son? Do you know about the prince? Because, you know, everyone knows about me. I'm a hot load of shit.
Tell me what you know about the prince, the Fire Lord's son.
And then he like has the kid tell him about it. He's like, hey, tell me about me because I'm an egotistical prick, which is not how Zuko is. I don't really get that. Moving on. Another moment that means a lot pretty early on. I think it's in the second or third episode of the show when he goes to the air temple and he sees Gyatso? Gyatso? Doesn't matter. Gyatso! That's fucking... Oh my god, I want to kill myself. When he sees his body and realizes that the only father figure he had in his life was like dead, there's this emotional moment where he doesn't say anything. He just gets mad. He goes into the avatar state, which means he starts glowing, starts to get pissed. He's like angry. And then Katara's like, we're your family now. You know, your family might be gone, but we got you. Little bald boy, we got you. And in the movie, he pulls the fucking worst thing ever that you can do. The fucking, no! 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 It's real bad. It's bad. And then, of course, there's the way that we're introduced to earthbending in season 1, which is the prison camp with the earthbender Haru at this Fire Nation colony where there are earthbenders and they can't earthbend because the Fire Nation doesn't want them to earthbend. And if they earthbend, they get thrown in a camp and they can't earthbend there because there's only metal there. And so they can't bend because there's metal. M. Night saw that episode and went, what if there wasn't metal? No, I'm fucking serious. There is a camp full of earthbenders that won't earthbend to revolt. They're on the ground. There is nothing stopping them from killing these pussy-ass firebenders. Oh my... The firebenders. Don't even get me started on the firebender. Take a quick thought about why fire is the nation that took over a lot of the world. Water and earth have to have a resource, right? To waterbend, you gotta have water. To earthbend, gotta have some rocks. Except for airbending. But they were genocided. Genocided? They were genocided. They're gone. So once the airbenders are gone, the firebenders, they can make their own fire. So they just took everything out, right? Because you don't need fire to firebend. That's why they are the powerful element that is able to just take motherfuckers out without any preparation. Because they make their own fire. It's cool, and it's why they're badasses. M. Night saw that and he said, oh no, this is just not realistic enough for my Nickelodeon production fantasy kids movie. Not realistic enough. And I know the fans want realism, so firebenders need fire to firebend. Why? Why? I don't understand. Why would you fucking do that? You just completely ruined firebending. In the fucking scene where the Earthbenders finally fight back because Aang gave some encouraging, powerful words about there's literally rock under your fucking feet. He says that.
You don't need to live like this. There's Earth right beneath your feet.
Fucking idiots. The firebenders fight back by taking the fire from the torches around the camp and throwing it at him. Just put out the fires. Just throw sand on the fire and they can't do anything. Why are they a threat? Why the fuck are they a threat? Not to mention, every bit of bending in this movie takes like a 20-minute fucking dance. And then you throw a boulder. It's like, who fucking thought of this shit? We all made fun of The Last Jedi for having like weirdly bad choreography, but this is fucking awful. I totally forgot until just this moment, but there's a moment after Aang gives the speech, right? Actually, let me watch the whole thing.
The Avatar would have to be an airbender. Are you an airbender, boy?
What a fucking pussy. You just let, what, a 13-year-old girl just shove you? You're a soldier. How are the Fire Nation threatening?
Leave him alone.
In filmmaking, there's kind of the rule of thumb of like, show, don't tell, if you can help it. Because random exposition is off-putting to people, and they don't tend to like that. M. Night, with his film experience, which if he showed me this, I wouldn't believe that he had any, just does these moments where Katara just fucking narrates for no reason.
We arrived at the Northern Water Tribe. We presented ourselves to the royal court.
It's like, oh, well, she narrates the opening part in the show, so people must like her narration, because that's iconic, right? I want to mention the fucking Fire Nation colony I was talking about earlier is called Fire Nation Colony 15. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, do they have all of the colonies fucking numbered? Is this the Hunger Games? What the fuck? There are a lot more subtle things they throw away, like when they get to the North Pole, which happens like an hour in, which is pretty fucking quick if you ask me. In the show, when they get to the North Pole, the people from the North Pole find them because it's meant to show that like the North Pole is well hidden and well fortified. That's why the Fire Nation hasn't found it yet. They do later, but whatever. Well, with this, they just go for a swim and they're like, oh, there's the North Pole. Oh my god! Oh, also, there's also a part before they go to the North Pole where Zuko gets blown up on his ship because Zhao tries to kill him, right? So instead of it being a bomb, like in the show, they just cut a gas line and it blows up like right when Zuko goes on there. Like, how long was that gas line cut? Why is that gas line cut like in his room where he would notice? Why did any of that happen? Why did they write that? Oh, and also Iroh fucking throws a woman when the ship blows up. I'm now like scrolling along on Netflix to try to keep some kind of structure because I feel bad that I'm terrible at making videos. Like, comment, and subscribe when the Sokka and Yue thing happens, they literally look at each other and smile. Let me just show you.
My brother and the princess became friends right away.
Oh, did they? And then, you know, spoiler alert, a bunch of uninteresting character development happens. They explain Yue's backstory in the weirdest fucking way possible with this shit conversation.
What might she ask me?
Well, she'll say, "Why is your hair white, young lady? You look very odd."
I would say to your grandmother, my hair's white because when I was born, I was not awake. My mother and father could not get me to make a sound or move. So they prayed for days to the moon spirit and dipped me into the sacred waters.
Like, in the show, they didn't explain that until A, it was important, and B, she was asked about it. She was asked about it. In this one, Sokka makes a weird joke about her hair being white, which is not important, frankly. And then she just goes, "Oh, well, here's my entire life story." Fucking hate this movie. I hate it. It sucks. And then, you know, all of the plot happens, I guess, if you want to call it that. And so Aang ends up in this place because he needs to try to go to the spirit world, and Zuko comes to come and capture him because it's all he cares about. There's not even an ounce of depth in this version of Zuko. He's just like, I really want the Avatar. And by the way, he doesn't even know who Katara is in this scene.
Who are you?
My name is Katara, and I'm the only waterbender left in the Southern Water Tribe.
An hour and 8 minutes into the film, and he doesn't know who one of the villain doesn't know the main fucking characters. He only knows Aang. He literally is like, I don't even know who you are. And then there's this weird fucking scene where he throws fire and it clearly goes to the side. And so Katara turns her whole body to look at the fire that he threw to the side, clearly to distract her, fucking clearly. And she just looks at it, doesn't notice and she doesn't notice the fire coming straight fucking at her from the other side. She just turns her entire body. And then she gets fucking hit from the side because she's a fucking idiot. God, I wish she died in that scene. Fucking God. And okay, so I mentioned how all you have to do to not get killed by the Fire Nation is put out the torches. There's literally a fucking line in the movie about don't put out the torches. And they don't even follow that advice. Like, the movie acknowledges that it's such an obvious weakness, and they just don't even fucking do it.
As many fires in this city should be put out as possible when the alarm sounds. We want to minimize their bender sources.
So anyway, that happens. He kidnaps Aang. He takes Aang into this weird water jug place. I don't know. And he just starts talking for some reason.
She was a firebending prodigy. My father loves her. He can't even look at me sometimes.
Like, I don't know what it is. I know Zuko talks in this situation in the show, but it makes more sense in like a lot of different ways, and it feels natural. This feels fucking weird. Oh yeah, and before I even talk about that, I forgot to mention that when Aang is left alone in the spirit place, Sokka and Yue leave for literally no fucking reason. Like, they don't even give a reason. They're like, we have to go, and then they dip.
I have to get back.
I'll take you.
I'll stay with him.
Writing is hard. And, you know, while Zuko's fucking talking about whatever in the jug room, and then Aang wakes up. Duh. Zuko wasn't even watching him. He's looking out the window, contemplating his daddy issues.
He can't even look at me sometimes.
And then Aang, like, gets up and runs around on some of the most obvious wire work fucking ever. You might as well just leave the wire in the shot because it's fucking obvious. Then Aang does this thing where he hides behind him because he's so fucking small. He's like weirdly small, like this kid, he's a freak. Which is like a kind of cute moment, I guess. And then they fight for a little, and Aang kills him. And then Zhao goes into the spirit place, not the spirit world, the place where Aang meditated before. I don't think you care enough for me to explain this to you. And in this place, there are two fish that are the living forms of the ocean spirit and the moon spirit. Waterbenders get their power from the moon. So Zhao was like, I'm going to kill the moon. That won't have catastrophic consequences against all of humanity or anything. And so he fucking kills it.
We are now the gods. No!
Bruh. And all of a sudden, Iroh starts firebending without making his own fire.
You're too soft, General Iroh.
And they're like, how is he doing that?
He's making fire out of nothing.
He's making his own fire. Why the fuck is that not a thing if you were just going to make one of the characters do it anyway? What was your fucking logic to show that Iroh is a powerful bender? You can do that in other ways. I don't understand this movie. And you know, the moon's dead, which means that they can't waterbend anymore. And there's the dramatic scene where Yue fucking dies. Bruh. Nobody cares. And then, you know, she dies. The moon gave her life, whatever. So she gives the moon life. Bruh. And the moon comes back. And then all of a sudden, the moon comes back so they can waterbend again, right? So the first thing that this waterbender guy does is fucking tackle a dude. Like, what? Why did you need the moon to tackle the guy? I don't understand. And then, you know, Zhao has been the real antagonist of the film. He fucking killed the moon after all. So, obviously, you want to give your villain a satisfying end, right? You want to fucking kill the shit out of him with, like, a cool moment where the characters that he's wronged finally get their revenge or something, right? Like, that would be cool. That would be kick-ass. Nope. 4 random people that you've never seen before come up, fucking drown him in a PG-rated movie, and then they leave, and you never see them again. Bruh. What was the fucking point of that? In the show, Zhao dies because the ocean spirit helps Aang make this giant fish monster, not important, and once it drops Aang off of the fish monster body thing, it fucking takes Zhao away and you never hear about it again. You don't know where he is. Actually, I think he's in the spirit world. I think that's confirmed in Korra or something. I think he's in the spirit world. But, you know, he's fucking gone. He's gonzo. He's gone. Gone. But in this movie, they decided to make honestly less sense and just fucking kill him when, like, nothing like that has happened this whole movie. So, you know, Zhao fucking dies, like, harsh. The goon squad that killed him ran away, never to be seen again. And Aang makes a giant wave. He makes this big wave, surfs up, bro. He's the head kahuna. And he's about to throw it on all the Navy ships, but they all leave. He's like, look what I can do. And he doesn't kill them, which is like the most true to Aang's character thing I've seen in this whole movie. And a pretty decent moment. Although, you know, fish monsters are cool too. but that's fine. And then they all bow to Aang for some reason. And then, you know,
Do you accept this unspeakably important task I'm putting in your hands?
I do, Father.
Azula will return in Avengers Endgame. Except there will never be a sequel. Thank God. And then you have some of the worst credits I've ever seen in my life. There's probably a few things I didn't mention, but it is 5 o'clock in the morning, so sorry. I just wanted to make a video spontaneously and see if I'm naturally funny or if I require the crutch of a heavily written script beforehand. I hope you've enjoyed. This movie made me want to die. That's all I have. Okay, I've done like 8 outros. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, and or subscribe. And share this to your friends. Don't watch this movie. Don't do it. Just don't. Twitter and Twitch will be down below in the comments section. Expect more videos. Hopefully a bit more coherent than this one. And I will catch you later, broskies. I mean... Peace. God, that was bad. That was bad.